What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building. Monique, I am still, I'm covering you, girl. I want to discuss Monique and, her being on the Breakfast Club. She was going toe-to-toe with Charlemagne, aka Leonard, and it was just so funny, you guys, how Monique kept bringing his his name into it. And let's play that out, and I will come back and comment or interrupt they ass if I feel prompted to. All right, you guys.
Well, baby, first I want to say to Eddie, to your producer, thanks for sharing the platform with us. And a while ago, when I came up with...
that wasn't Eddie, that was us.
Eddie lucky he here. All right?
Okay. Let me thank all three of y'all for sharing your platform with me and my husband.
All right.
But a while ago, I had to come out, and I spoke in reference to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That we had to I was asking folks to stand with us as we boycott Netflix for gender bias and color bias.
Correct.
And we were fighting for equality.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that I had become Donkey of the Day.
Yes.
By Leonard. And I gotta call you by your name, baby, because
Leonard.
Yes. Okay, baby, he's getting real special, Leonard. But we're going Leonard.
It is Leonard.
And then I was called Donkey of the Day, and it really caught me off guard. Because when I met this brother some years ago, and I always go back to it because I met him in an elevator at Turner Station. And I met a young man that was full of humility and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got on that elevator, he actually held the door. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And I said, "Oh, baby, thank you." And he was just like that. "Yes, ma'am." And "Miss Monique, it's a pleasure to meet you." And we had a very beautiful exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to that brother, "Tell your mama that she raised you right."
Mm-hmm.
That's a
and
fact.
he said it was my mama and my grandmama.
Yes.
Well, shit, Monique, let me interrupt really quick. Monique, he was acting like that because his ass probably ain't really popped off like that. Y'all know how humble people are, before they get into the business, get the money, get the accolades, get the opportunities. Of course he was humble. So, I'm not shocked by that damn Charlemagne.
Ma'am.
So I felt like this was, and still is, a beautiful young brother making his way, but full of humility and respect. Till we fast forward, and I become Donkey of the Day. So I didn't want to have it to be hearsay. I didn't want to have anybody exchange words that I may have said to him. So my husband and I wanted to come on so we could understand how I got titled Donkey of the Day.
So why'd you give a donkey today, Charlemagne?
Well, I think it was due to the whole Netflix situation. When I heard you say that, you wanted us to boycott because of racial and gender bias, but then you went on to, mention two brothers and a woman. So I said maybe she should be more specific and say black woman gender bias. But then also just from a business aspect, I wanted to know, why did you feel like, you should have gotten whatever Chris Rock got, whatever Dave Chappelle got?
Now, if you notice, he brings up Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, rightfully so. They are, their numbers have been in the situation, I believe, with them getting to 20 million. But a lot of black men actually think like Charlemagne. I know because I've talked to these motherfuckers on Facebook, and they are, well, she's not on their level. And honestly, you guys, it's because these men, they feel like because Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are men, not necessarily just because they're black, but they're men. And of course they should get more than Monique. I mean, who is she? And most men have an issue with Monique because they're not even a fan of hers. Okay, you would have to be a fan. You would have to like Monique. Monique is one of those people, you either like her or you don't. So a lot of black men, unfortunately, they don't really care about black women getting paid equal amount in Hollywood, their fair share in the workplace or wherever, as long as they are getting their money. Like I said before, you guys, black women, we are the lowest on the totem pole. And Monique is going to bring up an excellent point of how men and, black men in particular, like Charlemagne, he gave her the donkey of the day. So you're giving your fellow black woman a donkey of the day. Like I said, you guys, all of it is to deter you from the issue at hand of the racial and gender bias. All of it is to sidetrack you. You know, don't be focused on this big important issue. Let's give her donkey of the day, because who the fuck is she to speak out anyways? You know, she's a black woman. And did he say that? No. But that is pretty much how I'm guessing he felt. Shit. You know what I'm saying? How, as a black man, you don't understand this, because you look at men and women differently. Now, he's about to go into some bullshit, you guys, of Netflix, and it's all about who's hot now, and Amy Schumer is not hot. Amy Schumer is the right skin color, and I said it. Okay, and I don't give a fuck if you agree with me or not. She is the right motherfucking skin color for people, because she's not funny like that. And let's go back to what my girl Omarosa said. White people, a lot of them, can be as mediocre as hell, and they will still get opportunities that surpass the opportunities that black people get just from them being white. They could just be plain Jane mediocre, but that black person, we are so used to working 10 and 20 times harder than them just to get what we can get, and it's still not what they give it's still not what they give white people in terms of money and accolades and opportunities and, you know, business ideas, and you know, it's just unfair across the board. And you would expect somebody like Charlemagne to understand that, but he is ignorant, you know, like a lot of black men. He is ignorant. He makes some good points here and there, not on this issue, but I've seen him in some other situations. But yeah, he gets his ass checked. He got his ass checked by Dame Dash for that chatty patty bullshit that he does on this show. He was being a chatty patty when he was speaking out on the Monique situation as well. Let's hear what this motherfucker has to say.
Whatever Amy Schumer got. Because I feel like this is a what are you doing for me right now type of industry.
Well, she didn't say what they got. She said she should have got more than she was offered.
And then, Charlemagne, you brought up
And why shouldn't she? Oh, because she's a black woman and she should just accept the crumbs she's given. Exactly.
Old Netflix special as well.
But that was later on. But my point was, like, this is a what are you doing for me right now kind of industry. We all know Monique is a legend, but we also know that those deals that Netflix are giving out are based off recent stand-up shows, recent concert, recent arenas,
And motherfucker, how do you know she's not doing shows now? Why? Because you ain't seen, because you're not a fan of hers. You're not a fan of hers, and I can tell he has not did his research, you guys. You know?
And toys like that. So I just wanted to know why you felt like you deserved that much.
Well, Daddy, would you like to start, or would you like for...
Did y'all just hear how this motherfucker said that she's a legend, and then he has the audacity to ask her again, why do you feel like you even deserve that much? You as the black woman, like, why, you know, you need to work. See, her resume is not good enough, you guys. Do you notice people want her to keep doing more shit? How much more shit does she need to do to get the respect, the money, and the accolades that she desires, and the opportunities? How much more does she need to do?
Me.
Whichever you prefer. But, you know, if we're going to go back to the conversation...
Okay, you guys, that is Sidney Hicks, Monique's husband. He is via phone.
That we had with Robbie. It didn't start with the offer where the color bias and the disrespect transpired. It started from when we had our initial conversation after Monique got her reviews from the nights in which Benjamin and Caitlin, who were representatives for Netflix, came out to see Monique, in which on two different nights they saw her get a standing ovation, which subsequently gave them reviews of amazing and great show. So when we're in the midst of having the conversation prior to them giving the offer, we're in the midst, and he says, well, I want to make it very clear that, you know, people speak about Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, and what they got. I want to just make it clear, you know, so we can manage expectations, that everybody doesn't get those type of deals. Well, when we're in the midst of that conversation, the phone disconnects. We never reconvene. He never gets us back on. And our attorney calls me up, and we speak, and we're like, well, that was strange. Are we going to get back on the phone or not? Because anybody who does business knows that this is a key time in which to build the value of your client. Then we came back with an offer that they allegedly had sent over that our attorney and I had never received. And then on that, it was a certain time limit in which we were supposed to respond. Well, we had passed the time limit because we never received it. When our attorney had asked them to please resend the offer that they had allegedly sent, it was clear that it had never been sent in the first place. That's the second red flag. When we get on the phone to discuss the offer that they had then finally sent over, initially they didn't want to have the conversation until I expressed to them, it is very ironic that the call we had was disconnected, we never reconvened, you became evasive, you can't get on the phone, now I have to express what it's feeling like, which is gender bias, color bias, and there's also an age issue that we didn't discuss that's in there as well. So those three things are what led to it, in conjunction with the fact that the very items that he said did not translate for Monique, which were her resume, what she's done in terms of movies, it didn't translate, but he said those were the things that translated for Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that pretty much lets you know right there that it is racial and gender color bias. And then it was just very weird that it's just very weird how the phone got disconnected. And because y'all know how you know how you're having an uncomfortable conversation with somebody and the motherfucking phone goes dead, and you know that I've had that shit happen with me before, where you ask somebody something and all of a sudden it's disconnected. They probably didn't want to fucking discuss anymore with them. They probably put that offer out on the table and that was that. That's all she's worth to them. But white, not funny ass Amy Schumer deserves $13 million. That's an issue. We can just keep the guys out of this, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. Just why does this white woman get more than Monique? It is very suspect. I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say.